Alright, today is Sunday, August 9th, 2015. I'm headed towards Dahlonega, Georgia. I'm currently in Cumming, Georgia. Headed towards Dahlonega, and I'm going to go up to the Richard B. Russell Scenic Highway, Highway 348, which is just north of Helen, Georgia. And today I kind of want to practice my turns a little bit, like using the entire lane to do my turns, because I'm going to be taking a pretty twisty road. I'm going to be going up Highway 180 through Suches, and then I'm going to basically want to be trying to use, I was watching some videos last night and they were showing people going around corners a little bit faster than I do because I'm a new rider, so kind of want to practice, starting out on the, if you're going to do a curve that turns to the left, kind of want to start near the center line and then go through the curve and end up a little closer to the outer line, so that you're using the whole lane so that you can get a little bit more speed around corners, things like that. Anyway, the next part of the drive I go through Dawsonville and then up to Dahlonega, and it really doesn't get it's kind of a boring ride like this. It's kind of just straight up through Dawsonville. It gets a little curvy once you get near. Maybe I should stay in this lane, huh? So that's kind of what I want to start videoing, recording, or whatever you call it, when I get up there, rather than right here, because this is kind of a boring stretch right here. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick introduction with the date and where I'm headed before I actually get up there. So alright, well, I'm going to stop it until I get up there. So just south of Dawsonville, and I just thought I'd break in here real quick. There's nothing worse than waiting the whole week for your weekends so you can go out riding, and then you get stuck behind a slow truck that seems to be going to the exact same place you're going. It's so frustrating. Just wanted to say that. Actually, it's not going that slow right now, but that's because we're on straightaway, and I can't really pass because there's cars coming. But anyway, every time there's a corner, it slows down to like 30 miles an hour, and it's really annoying. But oh, look, it's turning. My day has just been made. All right, I'll check back in Dahlonega. All right, I am reinvigorated. Just north of Dahlonega. I just pulled over to a Citgo, got some gas, got an alligator ice. It's like a slushy, really good. It's hot out here. I feel better. Anyway, headed north. Got some gum too, so sorry if you hear me chomping my gum. I just put it in. My mouth gets dry on these trips, and that helps with it. Yeah, I had some gum in my mouth the other day on my way home from work, and I was, kind of lost its flavor. I sat there for a long time in traffic, and it was really hot, and I was just sitting there at a stoplight, and I flipped my visor up, and I was gonna, reach down into my, down into my helmet and try to take it out and just toss it off to the side there. But it got stuck to my glove. It got stuck to my thumb, and then it got stuck to my finger, and then I tried to pick it off with the other glove, which was a stupid idea. And so I'm sitting there at this stoplight, I got this gum just like all over my gloves. It's just kind of, it was a mess. And then all of a sudden the light turns green, and I'm like, all right, now I gotta go. And so I put my hands down on the throttle and on this other handlebar, and I'm trying the whole way home to, like, because I got gum like all over my gloves. It was a giant mess. All from one stupid little piece of gum. Anyway, I was trying not to touch my turn signal or like anything else. I got home, I had to grab a paper towel and go out and clean up the bike because it had gum all over it. Stupid. Anyway, I guess that's what they call a noob mistake, newbie. Let's see. This is kind of my first video that I'm going to take. I took one before and of course the microphone wasn't in, so I'm hoping this one works. If not, once again, I'm taking a ride where I'm talking to myself. But like I said at the introduction, I'm going to try to work on turns and curves and stuff once I get off this road. I'm on Highway 9 right now. Yeah, speaking of noob, I guess I'm considered a newbie still. I have been riding since, let's see, I think I was on my way home from work one day and in my other vehicle, and it was in September of 2014, and it was a really nice day out. It was, you know, beautiful day in Georgia, fall day, and there's this guy in front of me, and he was on some sport bike, and I thought, that looks like fun. I wish I could do that. And I thought, well, I can do that. I just need to figure out what to do. I'd never been on a bike before. I'd never even driven a stick shift car before. Never had any need to. My parents never taught me because we never had one, and there was really no need for it. So I didn't even know that. I mean, this is how much I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know motorcycles had gears. Yep, that's how dumb I was. I just thought they were like scooters, apparently. I don't know. So I think I went online, and I may have gone onto YouTube and said how to ride a motorcycle, and I started looking at stuff, and I thought, well, I can do this. And then I started looking at different bikes, and I thought, okay, now what do I gotta do? I gotta go get a motorcycle license. So this is in September, again, of 2014, all based on this guy in front of me in traffic who I thought looked cool and looked like he was having fun. So I was like, I want to do that. So out of nowhere, I decided to pick up a hobby. And I looked into it, how to get a motorcycle license in Georgia. And one of the things you can do, which I'd recommend because I liked it and that's what I did, was there's this course called something about motorcycle riders for beginners, like beginners like me, like I've never been on one before. They supply the bikes. All you gotta do is bring a helmet, and no, they supply the helmets too. All you gotta do is bring gloves and boots. That's all that you really need to bring. And they said, and on the list for some reason it said, and a bandana. I don't know what you need a bandana for, but so I went and got a bandana. I walked into Walmart, I'm like, where are your bandanas? They were like, some lady helped me find one. I got one with skulls on it. It was pretty funny. Yeah, we didn't even need it, but anyway, so I went online, I signed up for the class. The class is done in every weekend, I think. I signed up in September for the soonest one, and the soonest one in September was in October. So I signed up and I got one for like mid-October, and then from there I think I went and took that class, and it's kind of a cool class. You go in there in the first, and it's a Saturday and a Sunday, and it's from like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday and 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday or something like that. I went in there and they said, what is everyone's experience? I said, well, none. And I was in there there were like 6 other people in the class, or 5 other people in the class, so a total of 6. A total of 8, can't remember. But we were all really, what is that thing? We all had literally no training at all, and it was kind of nice because there were other people in my boat. All I had done was go on YouTube and watch a bunch of different videos, so I felt like, okay, I know how to shift, I know how to do this and that. I've just never been on one yet. I need to try that. So it's kind of what I was doing when I walked in there. But it was a cool class, and when you first go in, they tell you, they said the first half is watching videos and things like that. The second half of the day was we were out on the bikes and, you know, learning from the beginning. And we had 2 instructors, and they did a really great job of teaching us how to, you know, everything from the beginning. And then I went to the next day and did the exact same thing, and then they do a skills test. At the end, they make you run through 4 different exercises, and then we did that. We were all very nervous. We didn't think we were going to pass because we've been kind of messing up the whole time. This is where I'm about to turn here. Or not, I'm not going to turn, I'm going to go straight, but technically I'm turning because the road turns. It's a different road, getting on Highway 60. There's some kind of stone, I don't know if you can see that, some kind of stone thing there. One time I pulled over and read that historical sign. Apparently it's something with Native Americans. One of them was buried there, and there's some kind of folklore that goes along with it. Every time you pass, you're supposed to throw a rock onto that pile of rocks or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, took the class, passed it. There was a once you pass a class, you go into the DMVS, and you can just get your motorcycle endorsement added to your driver's license without having to take any additional tests. So that was kind of nice. I mean, basically you just took their test because it was done through the DMVS. So as long as you go in within 90 days of passing your little course thing, just add a motorcycle endorsement to your driver's license and you're set. So the reason I did it in that order was because I wanted to get my driver's license, or my motorcycle endorsement on my driver's license. I wanted that before I went and got a motorcycle, because as soon as I get a motorcycle, you want to get insurance. If you want to get insurance, you want to make sure that you have a motorcycle endorsement, or your insurance is going to be twice as much as it should be. So that's kind of what I did there. I'm starting to get annoyed here. As soon as I got going on my little trip, I realized there's like gum or something stuck to the bottom of my left boot, and every time I take it off my foot peg, it's like stuck on there. But there's really nothing I can do about it right now, so maybe I'll pull over once I get up to Sucha's and find a paper towel or something and try to get it off, because it's really annoying and keep sticking my foot on it. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. Anyway, I got my driver's license, and then I decided which bike I wanted. I'm thinking, okay, what kind of bike do I want? Of course, everybody on YouTube is like, well, you should start out with a 250. And then the other half is like, no, don't get a 250, get a 660, because you get bored with your 250. And everybody's saying one thing, or, you know, I didn't know what to do. None of my friends, I had one friend who had a bike, and he just recently moved out to California, so I didn't really have any, of course he's pushing for the 660 because that's what he had, but you know, I didn't really have anybody to talk to, so I'm trying to learn all this stuff on my own. And I started looking at this one on Honda's website, which is what I'm driving right now. It's a Honda CBR500R ABS. Honda CBR500R ABS, and the reason I chose it was because it looks like a sport. It's a sport bike. You know, it looks like one, but the handlebars are a little bit higher, as you might be able to tell if you see other sport bikes. They're just a little bit higher, and the seat rides just a little bit higher. It rides somewhere in between a traditional sport bike where you're like hunked down like this over your tank, and a cruiser, and somewhere in between there. It's actually more sport probably, but it has a more upward riding position. If you go to the Honda Motorsports website, it actually has a really good description of what it is, and you can see the guy riding it, and it looks, you know, that's kind of what I wanted. I was like, well, it sounds good. And it has a mid-size middle engine, and it's kind of, you know, it's a 500 as opposed to a 250, which is, you know, twice as much as that, and a little bit less than a 660. But I mean, when I got this bike, it was brand new, so you know, a lot of people say, well, should you buy a brand new bike? Well, I just wanted one, and I don't care, so I went and bought one. But no, you could probably buy a used bike, and if you drop it, then you won't get upset or anything over it. But I don't know. I decided I wanted a new one, so I went and got one. It was my thing. I haven't dropped it yet, and I mean, maybe I say yet because everyone says that you will. Well, I haven't yet, and you know, when I do, I guess I will. But until then, I'm just going to drive safely, like within my limits, and try to not do it. But you know, things happen. It may happen while I'm recording this. I don't know. But I have my stuff on, and if it happens, it happens. But I try to be careful when I drive, so maybe my risk is reduced. I don't know. Anyway, when I bought it new, the guy said, you know, you need to bring this in at 600 miles, 600 mile checkup. They take out the break-in fluid and they replace it with regular fluids, and they tighten up this thing down here, your brake, and then they tighten up this to make sure there's not too much slack in it, and they tighten up the throttle, and they make sure the chains are, you know, wearing properly, and the tires are, you know, I don't know what they do, but it's just basically a pretty good checkup. So they do that, and then your next checkup, they're supposed to go in, your checkup, your next, whatever it's called, I guess a bike checkup, I don't know, service, your next service, that's what it's called. When you go for your next service, it's at 4,000 miles, and I guess every 4,000 after that. Well, I went in, it's at 4,000, it's at 4,912. I went in when it was about 4,200, and I had my service done on it then, and they said everything was in good order. And while I was waiting for that to be done, I was walking around the showroom and stuff, and the guy, I was looking at a 660 and some of the other ones, and the guy told me, he's like, oh, you got the 500? And I said, yeah. He goes, I absolutely love that bike because it's just a great starter bike. He goes, it's actually a good continuing bike. He said it does everything you want it to do, and it's lightweight, it's not, it looks cool, it's not 1,000, 1,200 or anything like that, but you know, because your insurance is going to be lower, because it's actually a really good, it's just a great all-around bike. And I agree, because I like it. It does everything I want it to do. I live in Atlanta, and I drive around traffic and non-traffic, and you know, suburbs and country, and like where I am now in the mountains. It does everything you need it to do, and it has enough power for me. I'm not trying to go 150 miles an hour, and I'm not, you know, that's at my, and some people do that, and that's fine, and they want to, you know, go fast or do whatever, but that's not for me right now. I'm, like I said, and the reason I went on this tangent, started talking about the kind of bike that it is because I was starting to talk about how long I've been riding, and like I said, that was in September. So then I went and got the bike after I did the course. So where are we on this story? Well, saw the guy on the bike, liked it, watched YouTube, took the class in October, went and bought the bike in, I think, early November, may have been late October, and then it got cold, so I really couldn't, I mean, I got on it and I just wasn't really comfortable, and you know, because I'd never really been on a bike before. So what I did was, when I got the bike, I actually rented a U-Haul like trailer type thing and brought my Tahoe over to the place, loaded it up on the back of the trailer, and brought it back to my house because I didn't feel comfortable enough riding it back to my place. And my friend who does ride a bike had just moved to California literally a week earlier than I got my bike, so I really wanted it, so I was like, all right, let me go get it. And so I went and picked it up, brought it home. I took a few, like I got on it and rode around my neighborhood basically, because I live in a subdivision, so I just kind of rode around there and got comfortable with it. And then it got cold. Even for Georgia, it was pretty cold winter. And so it was hard to really go out on it when it was freezing. So what I did was I would go out every once in a while, but not very often. And I only left the neighborhood like a couple times. And one time I went out there and there was construction going on. So it was like follow the lead car and do this and that. It was like total chaos. And I thought, oh, it was gonna be a nice easy Sunday or something like that for my first trip outside the neighborhood on real roads. No, it wasn't. It was kind of scary for me, but whatever, I survived. All right, I'm gonna pull over here and try to get this gum off my boot and continue my story. But I don't know if there's like a no, never mind. Maybe I won't pull over here. I thought maybe there was a for some reason I thought that there was a like something I could, like a rest area where I could wipe my boot off with, but I'll have to do that up at the gas station up in Suchos. Because I'm not going to do it there. Sorry. Anyway, I guess I hit the peak of the mountains and now I'm going downhill. So then it kind of warmed up in March of 2015, and it is now, I think I said at the beginning, this is August 9th, 2015. So I basically really started real riding, like getting out on roads and actually driving to work and driving around and being in traffic and stuff in March. So I've been riding for, it's August minus March, 8 minus 3, it's 5 months, only 5 months? I feel like I've been doing it a little more than 5 months, but maybe it's because I did it so often during those 5 months. I did a lot of, city, driving around and stuff like that. And then I decided to start going a little further out, so I'd take out in the country, doing different roads and stuff. And I thought I need somewhere to really learn how to, somewhere interesting to see. So I started looking around, and I thought the North Georgia mountains are, a cool area. So my first trip that I did was on this road that we've been taking here, and I drove up to Blue Ridge and back, basically. There's a pretty lake here. It's kind of cool. I remember seeing that when I first came up. I think there's a spot. I'll go up there and slow down a little. Anyway, I took this road and just kind of went up here, and I went around the corners a lot slower than I go now, but some of these people they go way fast. Well, I'm not really that good at it yet, so maybe I'll do that later. Alright, let me stop here and see if I can. Doesn't that look cool? There's a mountain and a little lake in the foreground, and so I started doing these mountain roads, and they're pretty cool. I like them. Okay, this is where I was gonna try to fix my boot. Alright. I'm gonna stop this right now. Alright. No, I just stopped and tried to get that crap off the bottom of my boot and off the foot peg. Let's see what. It's still a little sticky, but it's better than it was. I need some Use some Goo Gone or something when I get home to get it off. Oh well. So now I'm on 180 and I am headed toward Cleveland, Georgia. This is where my final destination is. First I'm going to go to that scenic highway I was talking about, and then go there. So anyway, I am trying to, these are the curves I was going to try to do. So I'm going to try to go to the outside and then kind of go near the yellow line and then use the lane. Well, it's kind of a big curve, so that doesn't work. I guess you got to do like this one. I'm going to try to go. I'm trying to improve my speed around curves a little bit, so that's kind of what the trip was for today. Like go up there and use that part of the lane. Just gotta practice it, I guess. It's supposed to be, it looks really cloudy and stuff up here. I looked at the weather report for up here before I went. It said 15% chance of rain throughout the rest of the day, so I thought, well, that's pretty low, so I'll go up there. If it rains, it rains. I prefer it not to be raining when I'm on twisting roads, but you know, sometimes that happens. So I'm on 180 east, and then I'm going to get onto Highway 129, which goes north-south. And Highway 129 goes all the way up to North Carolina, and then goes up into the Dragon's Tail, which is the area, which is that 300 and whatever twists and turns and stuff like that. This is kind of where it gets really twisty in here, so if I stop talking and start paying attention, maybe you'll know why. But yeah, there's like a 312 or something like that curves on this road. It's supposed to be like one of the most fun motorcycle roads to ride on. It's right on the North Carolina and Tennessee border, and it's called the Tail of the Dragon because when you look at it on a map, it looks kind of like a tail of a dragon with little spikes and stuff on it. So I guess dragons have spikes. I don't know. I'm not really an expert at dragons, but it looks pretty rainy, cloudy up there, huh? But that road will go all the way up there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on that and then head up north a couple miles and then turn right again onto this road, 180, which continues to go all the way towards Hiwassee, I think, and it goes past somewhere called Brasstown Bald, B-A-L-D, which is like which is the highest point in Georgia, and then there is a little mountaintop type state park or national park or something up there. National Monument, I think is what it is what it's called, because or something like that, because it's run by the US Park Service. Because I went up there one time and took some pictures and it was cool. But I'm not going to go up that way. I'm going to turn just west of there and go up the Russell Scenic Highway, which is 348. Until then, I need to get through this, but these folks in front of me are going kind of slow. Slowing my roll, salting my game, as they say. I don't know who they are, but maybe I just made that up. Sunday drivers. I think we're in some valley or something. I don't know where we are. All I know is we are going too slow. You know, it feels like it's dropped about 15 degrees since I first started this trip, It's 315 now. I think it started at 130, and I think it's dropped about 15 degrees. Also because I'm, you know, higher up, because I'm in the mountains a little bit, and because there's some shade, I'm sure. But these clouds also look kind of ominous, so I'm wondering if that's why it's cooled off. Hey, I'm not complaining. At least I'm not sweating like I normally am. I used to get really, and I still do, get really hot and sweat. I think it runs in my dad's side of the family. Everybody just sweats. And you know, we like the air conditioning and stuff where it's not, you know, sweating your balls off. Anyway, since I started riding in the summertime, because I really like it. It's just so much fun. Like, I would prefer to ride on my bike than to take my Tahoe to work. Like, when I drive that thing to work and I'm just sitting there, I'm grouchy. I have like a frown on my face. Like, this is boring. I wish I was on my bike. So I don't know where I was going with that. It's a cool little lake. Look at this. It's a little old bridge. Lake Winfield Scott Recreation Area. Cool. Oh, that's where I was going with it, because I just felt a blast of cool air. Reminded me what we were talking about. I'll talk about the biker wave in a second. I think that since it, you know, because it's Georgia and it's the summertime, it's hot. You know, I can't complain about that, because that's normal. But since I've been riding in the summertime, I've noticed that my heat tolerance seems to have gone up, because I would get home and I'd be just drenched, you know, just having a jacket on, or just hot, because it's hot, and you sit there and baking in the sun. Well, I don't know, I feel like I've gotten more used to it. I don't dread the heat like I used to. Like, I just hate being hot. It's not a comfortable feeling. But maybe I'm acclimating to it, like being out in the, I don't know. I feel like I don't sweat as much as I used to. Gross. Look through the curve. So sometimes you get people only looking like 10, 15 feet in front of them. You're supposed to look forward like that. Like that. You can't see where I'm looking, but I'm looking through the curve. Try to make sure that I anticipate things that are coming on, while at the same time looking at the roadway, make sure there's no debris or anything in there. But try to make sure that there's not anything coming up. You often see me do this. I'm not falling down or anything, I'm checking my mirror. I don't check that one as often because I can't bend my arm in, because this is the one with the throttle on it. It's easier to bend the other arm in. I check my mirrors, see who's behind me. If there's like people on other sport bikes, or that want to go faster because they're a lot better than me, I'll scooch over and give them a little, go past me, or try to get out of their way, because I don't want to be that guy in front of them who's ruining their entire ride by going too slow. But at the same time, I'm not going to go faster than I can go, because that's stupid. I don't want to die. You can't see off to the side here, but that is a huge cliff. It's like, and there's no guardrails, so I do not want to go down a cliff. So I'm going to go my ability and not go too fast. In fact, I'm going to go down to 5th gear, because this is really curvy right here. These last mile or so has been really curvy, and so is the next one coming up, so I definitely don't need to be in 6th gear because I'm not going to be going super fast, and I won't be able to slow down without sputtering. Again, this is the second time I've done this. Last weekend I took the same trip, and I kind of did what I'm doing now. I'm trying to repeat some of the things I said, but I don't remember what I said exactly. But I got home to watch the video, and I had forgotten to plug the microphone in all the way. Dumb. So it was basically all exterior wind noise. Maybe I should have kept that video. I was so mad I deleted it. Maybe I should have kept that video and put some music over it. Wolf Pen Gap is the name of it. This is Wolf Pen Gap is what I've seen some videos where they talked about Wolf Pen Gap, and apparently that's what this is. So, alright, slow way down, yo. That was a sharp turn. Look at that cliff down there. Oh my gosh. This looks like stop this. This looks like E.T. when they're in the woods. Has anyone ever been to Universal Studios? They've got, went to Universal Studios in Florida, and there's, I think it's a E.T. replica because they obviously shot that in California, but there was an E.T. I mean, this was decades ago. Decades, maybe, I don't know. 36 now, so maybe I was maybe it was 2 decades ago. We went to Universal Studios with my family, and there was an E.T. Woods replica. That's what that looked like. Tall trees with a bunch of stuff. Anyway, big cliff over there now. The cliff's on the other side. Try to avoid going over that. That would be nice. Slow down when I see those chevrons. Do you know what that's what those are called? Those little orange signs. Not those orange signs, but the little orange signs that kind of have like carrots on. Not the carrots that you eat, but you know the little. Look at this sharp turn. Yikes! I'll let this guy go by me. I'll point one out next time I see one. But they're called chevrons. I didn't know that until when I was a prosecutor. My judge, I had to go over there and have something signed by my judge, and I went into that courtroom. She had a civil trial going on, and it had to do with the plaintiffs were suing the Department of Transportation because the chevrons were apparently not reflective enough or up to the state reflective standards or something, I don't know. And somebody went around a corner too quickly on one of the state roads and either, crashed and either died or got hurt or something bad enough to sue. And they were suing the State Department of Transportation for not maintaining the chevrons. So that's what those little orange signs are, with little kind of like arrows, like arrowish type things. I haven't seen one in a while. Man, these are some steep cliffs. That guy goes so fast around them. I let him go by me, and I was like, dude, be careful. Fall off the cliff. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would get hit. I would smack into a bunch of trees before I hit the bottom of the cliff, but still, gracious. I'm kind of nearing the bottom of this anyway. The elevation. See, he just goes around people. He really wants to go fast, which is fine, but it's like, careful, dude. Don't want you to get hurt. starting to see why he did. This guy's going a little too slow. Of course, he's in a car. It makes sense. He's going to do corners a little slower in cars. Don't want the car going off the cliff either. Okay, that's a little too slow. Now this guy's just being ridiculous. Come on, dude. Did I just say ridic? I did. It's hard to wave at the other motorcycle riders on this road because your hand is half the time pulling in the clutch and half the time you're going around a steep curve trying to... What you're doing. One of the videos I was watching last night, somehow I ended up, I don't remember what video I was watching, but ended up just kind of, you know, when you watch one video and then all of a sudden you end up, you're like, how did I get here? I think I was looking up Tail of the Dragon, and then I saw Tail of the Dragon crash, and then I saw some, you know, other motorcycle crashes, and then I saw some other videos, and I just, you know, was hopping from one video to another, and I ended up some video discussing the motorcycle wave, and I thought that was interesting because they were talking about, you know, how do you, you know, what is the motorcycle wave? Well, it's when you pass another motorcycle going the other way, and you just kind of stick your arm out and wave to them. You know, sign of camaraderie or something, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, they were talking about all these different, so I started watching all these different videos about waving, which is kind of silly, but that's what I do. So I was watching this video and they were talking about motorcycle waves and things like that, and I thought, okay, well, I'll let these guys go in front of me. They're faster than me. I'm gonna try to keep up with them. Just kidding. Don't do that. Go your own speed. So they were talking about the motorcycle waves, and they were all of the sport bike people were complaining. They're like, yeah, the cruisers will never wave to you back. I'm like, they just don't wave. They just don't like sport bikes. Blah 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 blah. I'm talking about all this stuff, and I thought, where do these people live? They all in some place with mean people or something? Because every person I've ever waved to waves back to me. I don't know, like 95% of the time. And so I was thinking about it, and I'm riding up here today. Every single cruiser that passed me the other way waved. I'm at batting 100. I'm batting 1,000 right now, so I'm really not sure. I think every video was talking about it. It's a huge controversy or something. I'm like, well, how is it so controversial? I didn't see a single person not wave back at me. Also, it's like, who cares if they don't wave back at you? It's a big deal. I usually generally just give a little wave to whoever I see. Sometimes I forget. I'm not trying to. I'm like, oh, I'm looking at something else, or I'm thinking of something, and I'm not paying attention. But this one guy, he started his video and he said, I just took a vlog about something, and now I thought I was done, but I need to come back on here because I just need to talk about how mad I am that cruisers never wave back to you. Starts going on and on. He goes, only 2% of the time do cruisers wave to me, blah blah blah, and starts screaming. I was like, dude, get a hold of yourself. Pull yourself together, man. It's like, you don't get so angry because someone doesn't wave at you. I mean, come on. It's a big deal. Anyway, I thought it was funny. These two right here were getting gas at the place that I was at. They were just finishing, so they probably got on the road right behind me. At the place where I was trying to scrape my boot off with the gum. And the reason I know is because the guy in the yellow has a, I don't know what kind of bike it is, but it has higher handlebars, but it has a windscreen, as opposed to when I talked earlier about getting my 4,000 mile service checkup. on this. I was looking at other bikes, and one of the guys said, "Oh, you should take this one. It's awesome." Sat on it. It was cool. It was like it was a 1000cc or 1200cc. I don't remember what it was. It was a lot of cc's, and but it was yellow, and it looked just like that guy's bike, except it didn't have a windscreen on it. I realized, he's like, "Yep, this one doesn't have a windscreen," but that guy's does. That's the only reason I recognize him from earlier. So anyway, they came up, and I thought, there's two of them. They have back pads on and everything. They probably know what they're doing more than me, so I should probably let them go in front of me just in case they want to go faster than me. And they probably do. This car's just going too slow. Look at that. Can you see that? That's a cool... I'm going to turn right here. And they're going north. And if you keep going north on this road, that's where it goes up to North Carolina. It goes through Blairsville, and then it goes up to North Carolina, where you'll end up at the tail of the dragon eventually. That guy gave me the wave. The wave. I was in the car the other day, yesterday. I wanted to do this yesterday, but we had something at work that we had to do. A Saturday work event. We usually don't work on Saturday, but it was a Saturday special event that we had to go do in the morning, so didn't really get a chance to go out and do stuff later. But I had my friend in my car with, I picked him up and we went to the event, and a motorcycle was coming the other direction. I was in the Tahoe, and a motorcycle was coming the other direction. I reached my hand out to wave, and I hit the window. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I waving to people? I'm in a car. It's kind of dumb, but whatever. I'm gonna turn left up, or right up here. Oh man, I guess where this guy's gonna turn right. This goes for a little while, and then it gets really steep to the point where one time I saw a car. I got to the top, and they're near the top, and I kind of pulled over to look around, and this guy, he said, he was pulling a boat, and he said, "Do you know if this mountain peaks anytime soon?" I said, "Yeah, actually, just about half mile up that way it'll peak, and then go downhill from there." Because he had to pull over because he had a what's it called? What's a small SUV called? CUV? He had like a small SUV, and it had heated up and overheated while he was trying to pull his boat up this thing. And you'll see, I'll put it on like, I'll be in 6th gear, and I'll have it all the way gassed up, and I'm just going like 1 mile per hour, 2 mile per hour, 3 mile per hour, like higher. It's just, that's how steep it is. It doesn't look it from like watching a video or anything, but it actually apparently is quite steep, because you're like trying to get up there, and it's just not, your bike isn't having it. And it's because I have a 500 and not a, I don't have 1000 cc's under my engine, so that's why. But still, okay. This guy's going too slow. Take this straightaway for a little while, then it goes up, and so this is actually the Highway 348, the Richard E. Russell Scenic Highway. Once you're done with it, it goes into Helen, Georgia, which is a cool little town. I did not know about it. Apparently everybody knows about it except me. And it's like a little mini Germany. It's like a little city that has tourists just running around everywhere. There's tubing, like not the fast kind of tubing, but like tubing down the Chattahoochee River, and it's like a little mini German city. Like all the street names are German, and they've got little German stores and German restaurants and bars and things. Apparently Oktoberfest is quite popular in Helen. Oh, look at that deer. See him? There he goes, running in there. Okay, hopefully that caught on the video. But that's the first time I've seen a deer on my bike. I've seen them obviously before, but so I was coming. Here's a bear story. So I was coming the other way on this road, like I was coming from Helen this way, like the opposite direction I'm going now, and I saw this black bear. I'm going straight away here. I'm sorry, I'm going to pause the bear story because I want to do something first. Okay, I'm in first gear. I want to see what my gear changing looks like on my hand while I'm on this. While I got it straight away. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just wanted to see what it looked like on camera. Like I said, I've been. I never thought that I would get used to gear shifting. It was my most uncomfortable thing when I got my bike and when I started riding. I thought, I am never going to get used to it. How I do it like second nature now. It's not even, I don't even think about it when I'm doing it. So I'm not saying I'm not being cocky or anything. I'm just saying, it's like, my friend told me, he said, you will get used to it. And I said, no, I won't. I'll never get used to it. And he said, no, you will. And I said, no, I won't. I'm going to be bad at this. I'm going to be terrible. He was right. Everybody was right. I got used to it. Started doing it. Bear. Back to the bear. So I'm coming the other direction. I rounded a corner, kind of just like this. Like, it was a corner just like this. It was a right-hand corner. It's like, round it like this. And like, right there. Like, right there. There was a bear. And he was a black bear. And he was like eating berries or twigs, or I guess bears don't eat twigs, but they, whatever bears eat, he was eating. And he just kind of, all he did was cock his head to the side. I mean, I slammed on my brakes, so I stopped like right in the middle of the road in the right hand lane. Nobody was coming behind me. Nobody was coming the other direction for at least 2 or 3 minutes, like just like now. Like, you know, there's like barely anybody on these roads. But there was like nobody there. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's a bear. He's like 30 or 40 feet in front of me. What in the heck? And he stopped eating his berries or whatever he was eating, and he kind of turned his head to the left, looked at me, and then just scampered up the embankment and just ran away. I was like, oh, did that just happen? I mean, I've seen bears on TV and in the zoo. I've just never seen one in person. I know that black bears are not the most dangerous of them. I mean, they're still big bears, but usually black bears usually don't attack people. Grizzly bears and stuff like that, they do. But black bears are usually just, they prefer to be on their own unless they've been fed too often by humans or something. So, see, look, those were cruisers. That guy was grizzled. He had a grizzled beard. He stuck his hand out and waved to me. So, I don't know who these people on YouTube are talking about cruisers not waving to people. I don't know. Maybe they don't initiate it. Maybe I do, and that's why. But whatever. Who cares? Anyway, the bear ran away, and I didn't get eaten. So that was nice. And I didn't see any cubs or anything with the bear, so maybe it was a boy, or maybe it was just a juvenile bear. Didn't want to eat people. Okay, so this is where it gets steep. We're just literally on a 8% grade or something like that right now. This car's come on. See it, look, I've got it all the way. I've got my gas all the way down, and I'm like going up 35, 36, 37. I mean, it's a steep grade. Maybe it's higher than, all I know is when I come down this way, I'll go down this entire mountain with just pulling my clutch in and then being in 6th gear, because I won't need to, it's such a steep grade that I don't need to do it. There's some overlooks coming up. I'm going to kind of pull over because I want to see if I can record those. And I did that last time, and again, I didn't have my microphone in, so it was kind of like, I felt like I wasted my time doing it. But Maybe I should have just thrown some music over top of it and had it be a ride video instead of a narration. I don't know. But I'll get off at the next one on the left up here, and then I will record my bike too, just so you can see what the bike looks like. Wow, those are some serious clouds up there. Like, those look like real rain clouds. So I'm hoping that it doesn't rain, but if it does, I've ridden in the rain before. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but it's okay. I prefer not to be on a bunch of twisty roads when it's raining, though. Okay. I think we might be nearing the top, or at least the spot where I saw that guy with his car. Yeah, this is it right here. This is where the guy... Let me stop here. It's like a little pullover. It's called Tesnati Gap. Sorry, I don't know how to say it. Tesnatee Gap. I'm gonna look that up when I get home. It says elevation 3,137. Anyway, the guy was sitting right here, and he was on his way up the same way I am, and he said, "Do you know if this peaks pretty soon? Because my bike is, or my car is overheating." And it does. It peaks like right up over here at the county line. Look up that thing when I get home just to see what it looks like. Yeah, there's somewhere up here on the left that I'm going to be able to pull over eventually and take a look at the scenery. I think it's right up here. Man, this is steep. There it is. It's a neutral. Yeah, that's a that's a big drop. Wow. Let's see. I can get down here. Those mountains in the background. It's an awesome view. There's a better view up ahead. This is the first stop, but anyway, that's my bike. It looks like my bright light is either burned out or I don't have it turned on. Let's see what the story is on that. Oh, I didn't have it turned on. Now I do. So that's the Honda CBR500R. It came in three different colors. It came in a white and blue, red, or this black. I wanted ABS brakes on mine, so I ended up getting so the only one it would come in was black with ABS on it. So I ended up with a black one. I like the black one anyway. Maybe I would have gotten the red one. I don't know. But if you wanted ABS, black was the only option. ABS doesn't come on most bikes, and most people probably don't even think about having that added, or having that as an option. But for some reason I thought, new bike, new rider, why not? So I've only felt the ABS go off or get engaged or whatever twice. Once I was kind of slamming on my brakes. See, now here it says White County, and we're kind of at the top here. I think the rest of this is going to go downhill. This is kind of where I saw the bear, I think. It was like right up here. Maybe it was just, oh, it just passed there. There's a red bike. And so let me put it in neutral so it doesn't turn the bike off. And then come over here. Make sure it doesn't tip over. But there's so the road comes up, like if you're heading down, it's gonna all be downhill from there. So anyway, that's kind of, we're headed towards a downhill area, so the rest of this is going to be downhill from here. Everything's downhill from here. But look, in the distance there's a peak. You can't really see it from here, but, or maybe not on the video, but there's like a big bald spot on it, and it, when you get down in the area where I'm going to be headed, that's actually really not that far. You'll see it up close, a lot closer once we get down the mountain a little bit. So it's kind of a neat view. Make sure this is still recording. It is. Sometimes the video cuts in and out sometimes. But, you know, okay. So, cool view. Going now. Oops. So we've got, let's see, what gear am I in? There we go. Figure out what gear I'm in. Yeah, this is all going downhill, so I'm just going to pull in my clutch here. Maybe, I don't know if you're supposed to do that or not. Maybe people will comment, if I ever post this, people will comment and be like, you're not supposed to cruise with your clutch pulled in. And someone tells me that, I'll learn. Until then, I don't know. Most of this is going to be downhill, so it's a little uphill part. There's another spot with a view pull off, but I think the other view is better, I think, so I'm not sure. I'll pull over here and we'll take a look. Yeah, the other one's better, huh? I guess if you want to have a picnic or something up here, you can. It's not so bad. Use lower gear next 3 miles. So what do? I go into 6th gear. Oops. I guess the trucks. I guess that used to be a pull around for a view. Now there's a bunch of trees blocking it right there. That place. Faster than I was doing the earlier ones. Since I was so busy talking before, I wasn't really paying attention to practicing like I said I was going to do. Now I'm almost done. So I'm going to probably just stop recording when I get to, I'm going to, what time is it? 3:45. I didn't eat lunch today, so I'm starving. What's around here? There's a place around here. Okay, that's where I'm gonna go. Just near Cleveland. It's called, I think it's called Western Sizzlin'. It's like a country buffet. It's really good. Very, very good. One time I was eating there. And one of the waitresses that wanders around, you know, cleaning up plates and stuff like that at buffet type restaurants, she's like, "Child, why don't you have me fried chicken? You need to try the fried chicken. It's the best fried chicken in the world. I'm gonna go get you some fried chicken." And then just ran away before I even got a word in edgewise. And then she brought me some fried chicken, and she was correct. It's very, very good. I can see why someone might become hysterical if someone weren't eating it. So she brought it over to me, and it's good stuff. Anyway, I'm heading there. They've got all kinds of stuff at this little buffet, and they actually have steak that's good. You know, if you go to some buffets and they're like, "Oh, we got steak," and it's like, oh, it tastes like crap. Well, this place actually has like seasoned and stuff. It's really, really good, and their fried fish fillets are amazing. So I'm gonna go there. One of my friends at work, he can really put away food. And he's not a fat guy or anything by any means. He's a muscular dude, but he likes to eat. He can eat a lot. And so when we go places for lunch at work sometimes, and the group will go, we'll be like, "Okay, where are we going?" And we have to like nix some places off the list because they're just not, the portion sizes are not to this guy's satisfaction. Which is good because he likes an abundant amount of food. He would definitely approve of this place that we're going to. He would definitely approve of the place I went to last few weekends ago. I went to Blue Ridge, Georgia, and I was going to stop at some place called the Blue Ridge Brewery, and it was closed. So I went around the corner to this other restaurant. It's called Southern Charm, and actually it was quite charming. it was actually really good. I went in there and it was a Sunday just like this, and they had their Sunday menu. It was a special Sunday menu, and it said it had all these different kinds of food. Well, they had these catfish fillet, or not catfish, tilapia fillets. They also had catfish fillets, but I got the tilapia ones, and they were huge. They were absolutely enormous. They come out and they're like this big and like that thick, and they were big. And so I was like, "Man, these are awesome." And so when I was ordering it, I said, "Oh, and what are your sides?" And she goes, "Oh, it doesn't matter what sides we have." She goes, "I'm bringing them all out to you." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, that's cool." And she's like, "And they're endless." It's like, endless sides? So she brings out these sides, and the main meal, it was only $13.99. It was amazing. It was so good. And I thought, okay, there's green beans. I'm like, green beans are green beans, right? Well, I mean, some people can spice them up a little bit. They can put bacon in them, maybe some onions or something, but it's like, overall, crack my neck there. Overall, green beans are green beans. Well, I was wrong. These green beans were amazing. I think maybe whoever the cook was, like, they were like magical beans or something, but they were really, really good. The mashed potatoes were amazing. They had some kind of sauteed squash or something. Amazing. I mean, squash. How can squash be amazing? Well, it was. It was really good. So, I don't know. I will go back there sometime. Oh, I actually wrote a Yelp review for them. I've never written one before, but I wrote one. That's how good it was. So then I was done with, and there were other sides too. I can't remember where they were right now, but they were done. I was done, and I was like, "Okay, can I have my check?" And she's like, "Oh, sure." So before she brings my check, she brings me peach cobbler. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this just never ends. It's so good." So, a friend at work would definitely approve of that place too. Like on all my videos, all I'm going to talk about is food, because I'm very food oriented. I'm just always hungry when I'm riding up here. Probably because it's 4 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything all day. Could that be why? Yeah. Could it be that that's every time I go riding? It's right around noon or later and I haven't eaten yet? Yep. Maybe I should get on a better meal schedule. Alright, we're approaching the bottom of the mountain here eventually. And once I hit 75, not I-75, it's State Road 75. Big difference. Once I hit State Road 75, alternate is what it's called, because it runs along the side of Helen, Georgia. I'm not going to go through Helen because Helen is non-stop traffic the whole time. It's horrible, and it's hot, which means I'd be baking in the sun. You go through there, it's just traffic galore, because it's 2 lanes through the middle of this town that I was talking about earlier. It's like awesome. All the tourists like to go there, and everyone's walking around, and it just takes an hour to get through the city. Should I go through there so I can tape it? Yeah, I'll make my decision, because the road's coming up right here. Oh, it's about 4 o'clock. Maybe it won't be crowded. Should I go or should I not? Should I stay or should I go? Alright, folks. This could be a terrible decision. I should have gone right there. Instead, I'm going to go this way because I want to go through Helen, because I was just talking about it and now I want to see it again. Hopefully traffic won't be bad, but it probably will be. Maybe it'll be just medium bad instead of horrible bad. Doesn't matter, because the restaurant I'm going to go to is, I can go through Helen and go to it. Whatever. Okay, so I'm on 75 alternate. It's kind of it's the old version of 75 before the newer one was built. It goes through the city. This is like the route that goes around town. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to turn right, I believe, to go into Helen. Little buses right here. This is all part of that tubing thing where people go tubing down the river. I guess they go pick them up somewhere else down the river. Chattahoochee River, north of Lake Lanier, is up here and goes through the city of Helen. I wasn't aware that Georgia had such a big German population. I mean, I'm from Indiana, of course. There's a lot of German population in the Midwest, but I didn't know that Georgia had. I always thought Georgia was more English, like original settlers and things like that. But I don't know. Look at that. Cool River Headwaters Outpost tubing, and looks like some kind of obstacle course. And, I don't know, looks cool. There's the Chattahoochee River, a bunch of people tubing down there. And now I'm going to turn right here onto 75, go through Helen, towards Cleveland, Georgia, not Cleveland, Ohio, and eventually find my destination. Okay, sometimes traffic is backed up to here, so this is a good sign so far. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm sure it'll get bad once we get in. In which case, I will just edit this video and remove the sitting in traffic portion, maybe. Or maybe I'll just make people watch it. Okay, there's the river. It's nothing but smoke right now. There's a lot of barbecues going on down there in a little park. Okay, these are chevrons. Remember I was talking about chevrons earlier? Remember when I was rambling about random chevrons earlier? Those are chevrons, those little arrows. And there's a bunch of tubes. It's hot days like this. You can see why being like on a shaded river is pretty awesome. I'm in the city limits and I don't see any traffic. What's going on? Where's everybody? I don't want to complain, but come on. There it is. There it is. Knew we couldn't get through the city without hitting traffic. I think I might post my other video that I took. I took another video where I went up to Blue Ridge. Remember I just was talking about that restaurant that I went to. I actually took a video up there. I just kind of took it for my family. It wasn't really meant for anybody to watch, but maybe I'll put that up on YouTube. I don't know. That was one where my microphone was actually working. And I was just thinking about that video. Maybe I should put that up. I don't know. Maybe I will. Gosh, I really shouldn't have complained about there not being any traffic, because now look at this madness. Anyway, all the buildings in the city look kind of like this. They got a lot of red, green, you know, trying to, you know, look like a German village. There's a 4 o'clock bell tower somewhere going off. And that windmill up there. There isn't a stoplight in this town yet. There's tourists just walking around everywhere once you get up further, and that's why nobody is going anywhere. They really need to widen this. I don't think they could widen this, because then they knock everything down and the whole city would not be what it is, because everything's built right along this road once you get up here, over this hill up here. Alright, I'm going to stop until I get down. So this is kind of their little downtown area of Helen. Still traffic. But you see all the tourists and people walking around, and it is hot. I'm sitting here baking because I'm not moving. There's no shade. So, what I said earlier about being acclimated to the heat, yeah, so much for that. Let's see, what is this place called? If you go over that way behind there, there's like kind of a town square type thing. That's the Chattahoochee River, the bridge coming up here. And that place on the left, right to the left of the bus, is called the Troll Tavern. That was a pretty cool place. It's right, they've got seating and stuff right along the river. It's pretty amazing. Looks awesome. There it is down there. Hopefully we'll pick up here. The problem is all these people trying to turn and not leaving enough space. Oh well. Traffic should let up right around here. There we go. There's a breeze. Feels much better when you got some breeze. Anyway, then there's a lot of hotels and like type convention, not convention, but well, maybe convention centers, but banquet halls, things like that for like events. But apparently, if you come here in October, it's really, really cool. Man, I'm sweating. Wipe my face off there. Okay, there's no traffic. Why is this guy going so slow? Come on. He's like still in traffic mode thinking, oh, come on, dude. Anyway, that was Helen, Georgia. If you actually want to get out and do stuff, there's more to it than just riding through there, I suppose. Apparently a lot of people like to go there. Hence the traffic, hence the number of vehicles clogging the main road. I like how that sign right there just said congested area ahead. Come on, girl. It's like the congested area was behind that sign. This area is never congested. Awesome. Thanks, dude. I'm so glad you had to get in front of me. Get in front of me and go 10 under the speed limit. Under the speed limit. Come on. And there's passing available and a car coming, of course. I don't know if I'm going to see that mountain that I talked about at that overlook. At the overlook, I pointed to a mountain. I said there's some, kind of a bald spot at the top where there's like a cliff or something. I wasn't sure if I'm going to see that or not, because I was expecting to go the other way. Instead, I decided to drive through Helen, which is a traffic mistake, as I thought it would be. See, every single person waving. I don't understand these people that say that cruisers don't wave. Yes, they do. Yeah, I don't see that mountain. What they need through Helen. They need 2 lanes or 4 lanes. Actually, it's just 3 lanes, but they need 4. But like you saw when you went through there, there's nowhere to put them. You have to knock all those buildings down, and all those buildings are kind of what make the town unique. It'd be pointless to be in the town if you didn't have those buildings there. So it looks like you just have to deal with traffic. There's the place I wanted to go eat. Oh, and there's the bald mountain. Alright, let's turn around. I almost missed my, I did miss my turn. Oops. Let me go over here and do a quick turnaround, if I'm allowed to. Yona Memorial Gardens. I'm going to turn around here and keep going. There's a little lake down there, but this is where I wanted to go, so let's see if I can slow down and see that mountain again. And good thing I missed it, huh? Because I was going a little too quickly and there was a policeman right there. Alright, see that mountain? That's what we saw in the distance from that lookout. Cool, huh? Alright, we're at my destination, so that's all for now. Over and out.